May I call to order the regular board meeting for November 13th, 2017, the Board of Park Commissioners of the Lake Bluff Park District, Lake County, Illinois. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart.
Absent with prior notice.
Commissioner Gordon.
Here.
Commissioner McKendry.
She is on her way.
Commissioner Mossbarger.
Here.
Commissioner Patera. Here. Commissioner Wallace.
Here.
President Douglas.
Here. Okay, may I have now approval to approve the agenda, please, or a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Commissioner Mossbarger.
Yes.
Commissioner Patera.
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace.
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes. Now it's a moment for sitting visitors. Since I see none, we'll hold that to accommodate them if they show up later during the meeting. So, move on to the next item. Approval of minutes of October 16th, 2017, regular board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Told you.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Commissioner Mossbarger.
Yes.
Commissioner Patera.
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace. President Douglas.
Yes. What's going on over here?
He's trying to get a sequence down, and then Corey's going to show up, and you're going to be all messed up again.
You two should swap chairs.
Sorry to be bothering us.
Okay, I'll move on to the consent agenda. May I have a motion to accept the October 17th, November 2nd, and November 13th, 2017 agendas?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Commissioner Mossbarger.
Yes.
Commissioner Patera.
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace.
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes. Now may I have a motion to approve the October 17th, November 2nd, November 13th, 2017 agendas?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Commissioner Mossbarger.
Yes.
Commissioner Patera.
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace.
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes. Okay, now moving on to finance for the 2017 October year-to-date financials.
Page 45 outlines our net before capital and other. We're behind in the October budget. We're behind year to date. Rich and I talked today. We don't think we're going to be behind that much by year end. So, and Rich will be in December, early December. So we'll at the December meeting, we should give you a ballpark where we think we're going to be at the end of the year. Trying to do a few things. I know we have some programs that that will be adding another $5,000, $3,000 to $5,000 that Jim and his team is running. So this is fluctuating, but again, I don't anticipate that we go at budget. In terms of the golf course, there's we'll be even with budget where we're at today, Ed. So basically, there's going to be no change in October. Is that?
Yeah, October preliminary looks like financials will come in at budget for the month of October.
So kind of where we're at is.
So we'll be down to 150, 160 for the year in revenue.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
When I look for those numbers for the slow, I can't come up with 158, 538.
You'll see down below in the comments.
Yeah.
It's the last sentence. Golf revenues are 158,000 unfavorable.
Yes, but then when I try to find them in the actual,
Well,
the
yeah.
next
So
page,
this
I
is
see
just a
147.
summary page.
Okay, so then I'm over on the actual Billy Casper and where I see year-to-date revenues are 147 unfavorable. Is that supposed to be the same number? That's a different number, but close to being the same number.
No, okay, Brock, page, don't have a page. Right
I'm
after
looking on
page
47.
49.
Oh, 49.
Go to page 49, go to the next page.
Okay, yeah.
And then you'll see the golf revenues. It says total recreation fund revenues, and the golf fund revenues are negative 159.
So, yeah.
See that line?
This is on 49?
Page 50.
The next one, but it didn't have a page number on it. Go to the
Okay.
page after 49.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's-
page 50, okay.
And then if you go down under revenues, total recreation fund revenues at the top. And if you go
Okay.
down to golf year-to-date,
Okay.
you'll see the 159 negative,
Gotcha.
unfavorable to variance.
Okay,
Unfavorable to budget, rather.
yeah, I see it now, thank you.
Okay.
Now, what is that number, though, just
Yeah.
for my own information, learning experience, what is that, on the
On page
47?
Let me,
Is that a
we'll
big
check
deal,
on
but
that.
yet, should that be the same number?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, or do we have Ron 1 through October and 1 trying to predict October 1 through September? It's within 10,000, I think. Maybe
Correct.
the October difference, I don't know.
Yeah, the detailed report is through September. There is, the revenue side, I don't know of anything that should be coming up that comes then in that October report a couple pages later.
Yeah,
So that number should be close, but we
I'll talk
we
with
can
Rich
look into
tomorrow
it,
and
yeah.
see what the changes, and I'll send it out to my executive director.
no, that's curious.
It's
Because I'm trying to learn more about trying to interpret and decipher themselves.
It's a good catch.
Anything else to report on the financial?
No.
Good job on controlling expenses, you guys, by the way, because we're trying to make up a pretty big gap, so nice job on watching them and paying attention.
Okay, well, I have a motion to approve the financial report as reported by Executive Assistant.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gordon?
Yes.
Commissioner McKendry?
Yes.
Commissioner Mossberger?
Yes.
Commissioner Patera?
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
President Douglas?
Yes. Moving on. Under finance, purchase cards ratification.
We're trying to keep these down, but October's purchases were 36,000, so.
But less than last year, this still is correct. Any comments or questions?
Nope.
No. Could I get a motion to ratify the purchase card payment of $36,942.42?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gordon?
Yes.
Commissioner McKendry?
Yes.
Commissioner Mossberger?
Yes.
Commissioner Patera?
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
President Douglas?
Yes. Okay, moving on. Old business, estimating the amount of the annual aggregate 2017 property tax levy.
Yeah, I think this is only more for your information. It was requested last time, and when we've taken the CPI, when we haven't. We'll be having a public hearing December 4th, right before our budget meeting. So I was trying to remember, we went back to all the minutes, and there was twice where we said no, and then once where we took half. So I think at one point in time, I thought it was no once and half once. So no recommendation. This is just for your information as you make a decision on the tax levy ordinance at the December meeting.
That's action then.
That's action then.
Okay. Anybody have any comments or just?
Nope.
Okay.
Is that something we should wait to discuss as well?
Well, yeah, it'll be in the December agenda.
Public hearing.
That's when we'll be discussing.
So you can speak to it at the public hearing December 4th, and as well as during the budget process, and then formal approval of the ordinance.
It doesn't benefit efficiencies or anything to have discussions at this point, since there's no action today.
Right, we did, I think what we agreed at the last meeting is to include it in the 2018 budget, the
Yes.
CPI.
Right.
So,
And that was the
As if
finance,
we were taking.
as if we were taking.
Right.
and that was the finance committee's recommendation
Right.
at committee level.
That is
They did
correct.
that.
It wasn't the board.
And what is
yeah.
it?
Correct.
What is the CPI?
2.1%.
With this, the legislator did pass through the House property tax freeze, a 2-year property tax freeze, and then the Senate did not call it, so they basically adjourned. And so, didn't go through. However, January is the potential where they'll bring it back up. So, we'll have contingency plans by that time.
Bill Springfield. Okay. Let's see here, no actions necessary on this, so if there's no more to discuss on it, we can move on. New business, communication strategy, public communication.
So on behalf of the Finance Administration Future Planning Committee, President Douglas and I, we are submitting a recommendation for approval for a communication consultant. This is someone we used during 2014 after the board completed a assessment of all our capital needs, and they did a terrific job. I think we talked with individual board members as well as in the committees about this and the importance of this. The original proposal, I didn't ask for a second proposal back. Staff and I just went through what we don't need and what we do need. We still don't think we're going to hit this number of 35,000, but we it is in the budget for next year. So really, we have on the Bluff newsletter coming up. There's a lot of things on the table that we all feel it's important to start communicating in the community about. And the board has some major decisions for next year. And an important piece of this is some board training, because you will get a lot of questions, you will get emails, you will get phone calls. And so that's what the Finance Committee suggested is to authorize not to exceed 35,000 with periodic reporting to their committee. Make sure we're not spending more.
I think it was this year, early in the year, maybe it was the budget discussion last year. We spent a lot of time talking about consultants, and we agreed upon a number, a high number that you could act within for this year. I think it was 80,000, if memory serves me right, with the idea that next year the number was going to be much lower. So and I'm not debating whether or not we need a communication strategist to work with us. That's just a separate decision. But how does the 35 fit in with what we all thought we were going to be spending on consultants in 2018, knowing that there's some work that needs to be done at the beach? We're probably going to have to hire some consultants down there to do some work for us. There may be other things that you're looking to spend some money on. Could be more help on the finance side. What are kind of your thoughts on how this fits into all of that?
No, that's a good question. So first, we don't really have anything outlined for 2018 for any additional consultants besides this one. So decided not to hire some this year. This would come out of the operational budget, not the capital budget. I think it was a little different last year, as a lot of it was going to come from the capital side of things, and this I was able to fit in the operational budget, a little bit different, same concept, but I was trying to save money on the capital side, so I was able to reduce some expense in the operations to be able to pay for this. But this was the only thing that really going forward, looking to utilizing a consultant for. I don't know if I really answered your question, but the Parks and Beach Committee has talked about a potential proposal, or looking at a proposal for maybe services for the beach. That'd be the only other thing that we can say, but that's probably a $100,000 proposal. So
what about marketing from a promotional perspective with the strategic plan on promoting the fitness center?
yeah, that's going to be a whole separate conversation with the fitness side of things.
Just wondering if there's a placeholder there for some dollars.
When we talk about the health and fitness center, and we start getting once we get the strategy nailed down, we'll get into the financial piece of that, into the budget. But I don't know if I've really answered your question. I don't see anything else that we really need besides the potential beach, but that cost is so absorbent right now.
So if I read this correctly, you've already built this into the budget for next year?
In the operational budget, into the operational budget.
And there would be a separate line item for other consulting expenses?
I haven't
had other plans to use consultants for things?
I don't have any, there's nothing in the budget for it, but it would come out of the capital reserves if we wanted to do that.
Which is where it came in.
That is some of them
17.
came, yeah, the community-wide survey and the cost of services.
But you would have to bring that to us.
I would have to
because
bring it
it's not
to
budgeted.
you.
It's not.
It is
There's
not.
nothing in the budget except 35.
That is correct, there's nothing in there.
There's no, and that's the only thing in the operating, and there's nothing in the capital.
There's nothing in the capital.
To speak to your point on the fitness, because our committee's seen the initial budget, which you guys will be getting, the fitness is budgeting as if there's no change in strategy. So I am assuming, I would be assuming that there would be an improvement of some kind in the operational number for fitness that would probably accommodate some initiatives as you're talking about, Franz, because it's budgeted as is right now. So if we can find a way to pick some dollars up, we could redeploy those, I'm guessing,
Yes.
and figure out how to work those into the budget as it's presented.
It's budgeted off of,
It's budgeted like we're just,
2017
it's budgeted
budget
just
or
like we're
2000?
gonna do it again the same way next year as we did it this year, because to Ron's point that he raised at the committee level, we don't know what that plan is yet, so you can't
Oh, no,
really
I'm-
budget it.
but Ron, is it budgeted off of 2017 actual or 2017 budget?
2017 projections. Projections.
Yeah,
Meaning actual and then projected
Correct.
last 3 months or whatever?
That is correct.
Okay.
yep.
What about the website? Is that something we do internally? Because I saw some things.
Yeah, well, the website was budgeted for this year,
Yeah.
which will be done.
Okay.
Well, it's gonna be,
Project will start
Start
in
in
another week, and then we'll actually launch the new website in March of next year, would be the estimated timestamp.
so I didn't anticipate, kind of go back to your question, I didn't anticipate, the overall dollars. I was trying to get this into the operations instead of taking out of capital reserves. We were talking a lot last year about capital reserves and trying to make sure we don't spend a lot of money out of capital reserves on consultants.
That's a key distinction that you're making here, operational versus capital, where the funds are coming from. So, because yeah, last year was very different because we were tapping into our capital reserves. So,
So I was trying not to do anything, the total number for the capital reserves, I was looking at this year and trying not to do anything out of the capital.
Is that
And I'm focused, I'm sorry.
No, it's good. Is that due to also percentages, what, we're required to try to achieve percentages or certain amounts there? Because otherwise, it's just more of a philosophical, it seems like the operational should come out of operational, so it's just common sense thinking it should come out of there? Or what else drives the difference between taking it out of capital
Yeah,
reserves
so-
and operational?
That's a good question. So it's the master capital fund, so it's master planning, so plus capital projects. So this was the distinction with this was, it's communication for a variety of things, so the community-wide survey, the cost of services, the health and fitness strategy, the golf course, things like that.
Okay.
So it was a variety of things.
Okay.
So that's the only reason why I looked at it.
Okay.
The institutional zoning was, had to do with the capital reserves, but, so, Chris, I'm sorry.
I don't want to get bogged down in this anymore
Yeah, right.
because I'm more interested in what we have to follow. So maybe we can talk offline and at the next board meeting, maybe provide a little
Sure.
more color. I get the distinction of capital versus operations, but dollars are dollars and consultants, dollars, whether they come from one or the other, I don't think we should be spending 80 grand a year on consultants, no matter where the money's coming from. And it sounds like we're not planning for that, and that's fine. I just want to be careful that as we get into the year and have some important things to do next year, that we don't have a need that then we can't fund.
Right.
So,
It's a fair question.
but let's,
That's a good,
talk
that's a
about
good
communications.
communication.
yeah, but good point. We should kind of visit this, maybe at the next board meeting, maybe we have some kind of review of, in a more clear way, how this is being structured. So we have a pathway to fund. So, but, let's see, where were we? I gotta wait. Well, any more questions about at least this communications consultant that is being considered?
I understand, Chris, I get where you're coming from, and I don't disagree, but as a board member, I'm one-on-one coaching on this for next year. So I
What, I'm
think,
sorry, I didn't.
I want coaching from
Oh,
an
yeah.
expert on
Yeah.
all the stuff we're gonna be facing with the survey and the golf discussion and everything, so, so I would like to see us approve this tonight so we can get going on this, because you're getting questions every day on this stuff. So,
Yeah, and I agree that there's
Okay.
there's a need here.
okay,
Just, I guess, making the point that this,
Yep.
this is gonna take up dollars that
I got it, I
might
get
be
it,
used
yeah.
for other consultants.
Yeah, you want to have a sense of, you know, just how it fits into
Right.
the big picture. So regarding this particular issue on, or
I'm good.
this proposal,
Good.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Who's second?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the executive.
Gonna read the whole thing?
Oh, I'm sorry, did you already say it? Did somebody say it yet?
He's second.
And read, oh, I'll say.
maybe you should read it.
I'm gonna read the whole
I'm
thing?
sorry,
Yeah, just
you did.
Hold on, glasses
Yeah,
on
my
for a
fault.
second. Make a motion to approve Executive Director Salsky entering into an agreement with Public Communications, Inc., not to exceed $35,000 with periodic reporting to the Finance Administration and Future Planning Committee.
Second.
And roll call, please.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McKendry,
Yes.
Commissioner Mossberger,
Yes.
Commissioner Patera,
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes. Okay, moving on. The engagement letter for the auditor, please.
This was approved by, or at least recommended by the Finance Committee to retain Lauterbach and Amon for the audits 2017, 18, 19, but then to go out after that and seek proposals after we're done with their term.
How many years have we had this particular auditor now?
2011.
2011. And I think the one thought the committee has, as well as myself, is we do have a lot of topics coming up, especially they understand the financials of what we've been talking about. They've made recommendations 4 years ago on what we should maybe be doing or taking a look at. So that'd be good to have some consistency there. And we have all the accrual, cash versus accrual, so they can speak to it. And there's really a small increase. They've done a good job.
Yeah.
Any questions on this at all? Could I have a motion to move to approve the attached engagement letter retaining Lauterbach and Amon for 2017 through 2019?
My second?
So.
Oh.
Moved, Corey, second.
He already, yeah,
Okay.
when you read, I read it, so I can say.
We're off our game tonight.
Yeah.
And then a roll call, please.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McKendry,
Yes.
Commissioner Mossberger,
Yes.
Commissioner Patera, Commissioner Wallace.
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes. I think it's the weather change where
Football.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brock, you can move and second everything.
Is my name going to be in there a bunch tonight?
We'll just use your first and last name for the two different things.
Okay, next item, banking services proposal, Lake Forest Bank and Trust.
So before you get started on this one, I need to excuse myself from the discussion. Due to my employment and interest with MB Financial Bank, I won't be participating in any of these discussions, vote and/or award of any potential contract. It's all yours.
Don't go far away.
I was,
I'm gonna go right over here.
You're going over there, oh, you're gonna go.
Probably go get some working out in. Oh,
Yeah.
So Ron, do you want to walk us through this, please?
Yeah, so we walked through with the finance committee, the various proposals, both banks did a terrific job, extremely detailed, very thorough. It was a great opportunity to see a new bank part of this proposal, especially as we sent out a total of 5 and we received 2, so obviously some interest on our services. And basically, I'm talking with the finance committee, very evenly split in terms of the services that they provide. Slight edge to MB in their technology. I talked with Lake Forest Bank and Trust about that. But I think the key question that I talked with the finance committee is agreed is whether is there a compelling reason to move at this point in time. I think we have a lot of things going on. They're very similarly matched. And as well as there's, so you take that for what it is, and then we look at, some of the other things that they've done over the years. It's a recommendation on behalf of the Finance Committee and myself to retain our services, a 3-year agreement with the Forest Bank and Trust. But what I've told the committee is no renewal agreement option in there, that at that point in time, at the end of 3 years, I really want to see if they've improved on the technology side, because we'll be progressing significantly, and that is important to us. There's times where we can't get in and see our reports, so we're going to put them on notice that they need to improve. So that's our recommendation. But both banks did a really good job. So we met with them one time, they came back a second time, evenly matched. You can see it, evenly matched. So that's strong. That's pretty good. That's very good.
Any questions, anyone? May I have a motion to approve the 3-year agreement with Lake Forest Bank and Trust with no renewal, and authorize myself, President Douglas, and/or the Executive Director Salsky to execute the agreement with attorney approval.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McHenry,
Yes.
Commissioner Mossberger,
He's removing himself.
Commissioner Patera,
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes. Okay. Commissioner Mossberger, you can join us again.
Kind of nice over here.
It's a different vantage point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
It's like the peanut gallery.
Good stuff.
Moving on to the next item, and that's Sunrise Park and Beach dog tag fees approval.
So just to recap last year, how we began to, this whole process of adding a dog tag fee. In 2016, staff met with the Parks and Beach Committee, and the Beach Committee tasked staff to evaluate the dog tag expense and what was the expenses that goes behind the scenes, and so what is the actual fixed cost. After staff evaluated, presented to the board that we should recommended adding a fee of $7.50 to each dog tag. That was the actual fixed expense cost of the dog tag. 2017, as we were analyzing the budget and looking at increasing fees, if we needed to increase any fees, staff once again evaluated the dog tag fee, and one thing that didn't take into account was the actual people behind the scenes that actually check for the dog tags that we have to employ during the operations of the beach. With that, you can see under the expenses, the portion that was added with beach personnel, the attendant plus the manager, was additional $1,316. How that number came about was that number is how many visits we actually had by the dogs, people bringing in their dogs, versus comparing to the hours they work and comparing to the total number of visits. So when you divide all those numbers, that's how I came to the $1,316. Basically, I looked at that, recommended to the Parks and Beach Committee to increase the dog tag fee to $10 a fee. So background, last year, actually, we received positive feedback on adding the dog tag fee. Even all those that had to pay for it, we had maybe, that I'm aware of, 2 complaints out of 520 tags that we sold last year. So staff is recommending to increase the dog tag fee for 2018 to $10 a dog tag. Questions?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner McHenry,
Yes.
Commissioner Mossberger,
Yes.
Commissioner Patera,
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes. Okay, last item on new business is the 2018 regular board And committee of the whole meeting dates for next year.
In December, we're required to approve our calendar. We always discuss these times, days. I do anticipate, depending on some of the training we talked about with communication, that those committee of the whole meetings the first quarter are going to be important. If there's anything that you see before the summer meeting that maybe you want to change up, let me know, and I can talk to President Douglas. But we did take the January and February meetings off the holidays. We've been doing that the last few years in case people want to travel. So anyway, just want to make you aware we'll look for approval in December. So let me know if you have some concerns. Okay.
Well, no need to take action here, so we can move on to written communications.
None.
I guess we then can move on to verbal communications.
Yeah, I just want to make one comment back regarding executive session. Talked with the attorney. We do not need to, you'd like us to go into executive session, but as long as we keep track of when we're going in or when we approve our minutes, because we have to do it every 6 months and every 6 months, is that if we're not doing anything, we can just wait until we have a next big discussion, which is usually at the end of 6 months when we approve all the minutes. So he was fine with that. He felt that was okay. Normally doesn't like it, but he said it makes sense.
Sort of minimizing.
Minimizing
The number of
use our
times.
time. So he's fine. So I just wanted to get back to everyone on that.
And who do you thank for that, Chris?
You're welcome.
Okay.
Fishing government. That's it.
Yeah, I know, I love it.
That's our only staff report, right?
Staff, any verbal reports? No?
No.
None here.
Well, we got some things written down here. I imagine everyone's reviewed all through this. Any communications from any of the committees at all?
We touched upon a couple of the finance committee meetings we had. We spoke to some of the
I
things
think
we
we covered
recommended and
everything
discussed.
tonight, right?
We saw-
Budget, bank, yeah.
We have a meeting on Wednesday for the facilities to talk about the fitness center, fitness center strategy. So there will be more to come.
This
Certainly
Wednesday?
the next board.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Wednesday.
Parks and Beach, we met and had a great presentation from Baird, and we learned so much about so much that they can help us with our beach and the erosion issues, and we'll be discussing that more in December.
Any other commissioner comments? Hearing none? Guess I can ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Is that a roll call or all in favor?
That's all.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Hear no nays? Our meeting has come to a close.
Stop.